Coming up on this episode of Outlook TV, Coronation 24 in Winnipeg.
Edmonton K-Days and Pride Day.
The 35th anniversary of Vancouver Queer Film Festival. And much, much more. Hello and welcome to Outlook TV. I'm Rebecca Wyman.
And my name is T. We'd like to thank the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh Nations for the honor and privilege to film this episode of Outlook TV on their traditional unceded lands.
Outlook TV is the news magazine show that brings you the queer stories that matter the most from coast to coast. And we're going to kick it off in Edmonton with K-Days.
K-Days for Klondike Days, and their inclusivity with including a Pride Day for their festivities.
I am standing here in front of an amazing display here for K-Days from boomballoon.ca. They are in Edmonton, and we had a fantastic day here on the Pride Day in Edmonton at K-Days.
I put out my first full album called Legends and Myths during the pandemic. It was nice to sort of reset and have lots of creative time. Living with someone who's creative, I was consistently inspired by their work ethic too, and forced me to create lots of good songs. And I started 3 different album projects, and they're slowly rolling out single by single. But it's nice to be working towards a full body of work again. I think we just have to keep being bold and strong and standing together and standing up in the face of bigotry and people trying to tear us down. I think we just have to stay unique to us and celebrate that.
Fill me with adrenaline, shake me to my core, make my blood run cold again like the time before.
So how exciting is it to see K-Days having a full roster of queer entertainers?
Really incredible. I think it's so cool that they went for it and programmed that, and it's really, there's so much talent, there's so much queer talent in Alberta and Canada and Edmonton, and it's really great to see it showcased at such a great festival like K-Days.
Smell you in my sheets, and I don't hear you in the hall.
We've written everything together. We're very collaborative in our process. And even over the pandemic, when we couldn't write in person, we would still get together like twice a week online, and we'd write everything. And we've been friends for 15 years at least. So we've already had a really a solid friendship and a good working relationship. And it's always been super collaborative and really fun.
I'm working on a new album with a producer called Red Panda Productions. We have a full album of songs coming out later this year. And I'm also working on another project with my partner, Jaden McKenzie. We're doing a few songs together tonight. We have a full album of duets as well.
This is Patrick Massey for Outlook TV in Edmonton, Alberta.
And we're off to Hamilton now for the Canadian Wall of Honor.
It's very important for this community to remember their past to know where we're going in the future. So the entire court system in Canada got together and selected 30 recipients in their inaugural event.
I am standing in front of the Canadian Wall of Honor at the Well in Hamilton, Ontario. Behind me are names of 30 trailblazers who have fought for the rights of Canadian queers everywhere. Let's find out more about this initiative.
The Well noted here in Hamilton came alive after my visit to New York City, seeing the Wall of Honor that they have there in the Stonewall Inn, and seeing how they were honoring the past LGBT members over the years, but they only passed on. And I thought, what a great way to do in Canada, honor them whether they've passed or whether they're alive. All the icons in Canada are not being recognized across the country as far as I know. So that's how the Well Noted came alive here in Canada for me. So I formed the committee to help me. I wanted to keep it small the first year. So of course I partnered with the International Court Council, Nicole the Great, Queen Mother 1, because she was part of the New York one. So I needed her insight on how they did things. And then, you know, I displayed them on the Wall of Honor as well. And then I partnered with Joni from Vancouver, who is an icon out in Vancouver that knows a lot more history in Western Canada than we do. And then Drew, of course, being my right hand here in the well. The three of us became the committee. We got nominees from anybody within the community, and then the three of us decided on who were going to be the first inductees.
Good evening. I'm Empress Coco Lachine from New York, and I'm so honored to be here tonight at the well in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, for the unveiling of the LGBTQ Wall of Honor here in Canada.
We have local people, we have people that are celebrities from across Canada. We have a board of people that were picking the nominations from the West Coast and the East Coast. They all came together to pick these 30 names for this year. It's been a wonderful, wonderful initiative. I've worked with John on many things. This has got to be the highlight of my friendship with him. So I'm very, very proud to be part of tonight's inaugural unveiling.
But to be among some of the honorees that I'm among, and so many of them are worthy, and I know personally some of them, or did know them when they were still around, that's like, what an honor. I'm just completely honored and flattered and surprised. This is a steel town. It's still known as a steel town. It's a working class town. It's a working class society here, and to have it here in Hamilton, we are thrilled. We're so happy that the Well decided to take this on for us.
Now it's up to the community to keep on nominating people for each year. We can induct more people. We don't know what that number is going to be yet, but we hope to induct more people each year and fill the wall, or maybe have to make the wall bigger, whatever the case may be, because our history is important. And this history will be here for the youth, where they can see the history, and hopefully they can look up the name and Google it and see exactly why they have the safe space and the life they have today.
So check out drinkatthewell.com. We're going to have all this year's nominees on that website, and all the information to nominate people for next year, which I believe we're going to do it in Pride Month next year. That's going to be our new annual thing.
Standing with legends in Hamilton, Ontario, my name is Empress Sister Fancy Pants for Outlook TV.
We're going to have to take a little break now.
Pardon our squinting, it's a little extra bright out here. I think it might be her overalls.
Hi, my name is Sabrina H. Seville from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, and you're watching Outlook TV.
Welcome back. You're watching Outlook TV.
We're headed to Winnipeg for Coronation 24. This story is all about a community coming together to celebrate the court as well as a past monarch. We are in Winnipeg for Coronation 24. It's been a long and difficult year for this court, but we're here to find out how they finished the year off in a very celebratory note.
We had a very, I will say, difficult year. Unfortunately, we did lose our reigning empress halfway through the year, which is, I think, one of the only times that's ever happened in the 50-plus year history of the court system. And so we had several options, and the one that made the most sense to us was family. So we came together and we decided that as a court, as a community, as a college, that we would band together and that we would finish the year on our Empress Slay's behalf, and that's what we're here doing tonight. I am one of the founding members of the Court of Winnipeg. I have been here since its inception. And for me, it was family, of all things. It was the chosen family that we all speak about and that we all are constantly praising. And it drew me in, and it made me want to not only be part of something bigger, to see that I could be part of something bigger. Actually, 21 came about because of COVID. We decided that year, because everything was a little bit off for the entire international court system, and in fact the world, that what we did was we actually sold our titles that year. So to our college members and to our members at large across North America, we offered them the chance to buy their way into our house for the year. And so we raised quite a substantial amount of money, literally doing what we already do, which is essentially giving money to Reign.
We're a polite court in terms of our reigns, so people will choose generally to sit it out if someone else that they know is looking to run this year. So that's something that's been consistent throughout. Not always. We've had a few years where we've had some friendly competition, but generally we say, hey, if it's your turn, it's your turn. That's great. You know, we've done a great job, I think, with building support within our community, getting our names out there. People know what both the Imperial Court is and our tagline, our business name, the Snowy Owl Monarchist Society. In fact, more people call it that, but certainly raised, tens and tens of thousands of dollars over these years.
It is long and winding, promising to be filled with hard work, joy, tears, cherished memories.
We waited a long time to be an Empress. I've been involved when we were even a baronial court, so I was one of the people that helped get this started. And I've been Princess, I was on the board, and then finally decided, okay, I guess maybe it's time to start getting in here now that we're at double digits. Just seeing the involvement in the community, there's always a need for something that needs to be done, that needs money, that needs help. The government doesn't quite fill in those spots, so it's really nice to be able to help. And it's really all what it's about.
Sovereign Majesty, Empress 24, Jamie Allwood and Cake.
Congratulations, Winnipeg. My name is Empress Sister Fancy Pants for Outlook TV.
You know what's 35 this year?
You and I?
Oh, yes, definitely us. But also the Queer Film Festival.
Today we're going to speak with the Executive Director of Out on Screen about the 35th Anniversary Vancouver Queer Film Festival to see what they've got planned for 2023.
All the sadness that's inside of her. I want you to know that I didn't just disappear for no reason.
So 35 years, we're here, we're queer, and we're ready to party. After many years of COVID festivals, we are fully back in person, and we're very excited to bring our communities back together again. Here we have everything in person, so we have over 40 screenings and events in person, and we will also have a lot of things available online for folks to watch as well. About all of the shorts programs are available online, and a certain percentage of the features will be available online as well.
Querer. Quando eu quero muito. Não cabe aqui na ilha.
The theme Stronger Together, to us, really exemplifies the moment we're in right now, especially with the politics, a lot of the hate coming towards trans people and drag performers, and our community in general. We're feeling the pressure all around us, and I think we really need to find that unity, that we are stronger together, and to find those common places where we can come together and celebrate ourselves. It's not always about the fight, but actually about how we can express our joy. A number of premieres, either to BC or Canada, and also international premiere as well. Our opening presentation is a set of amazing short films exemplifying parts of our communities, and that's kind of why we decided to go with shorts programs for opening instead of a single feature. Our centerpiece presentation is an amazing documentary called 1946, The Mistranslation That Shifted Culture, and it's about the church and actually the first time homosexuality appeared in the Bible, which is in 1946, spoiler alert, and the way that was weaponized against our communities, and actually the researchers thought it's actually a mistranslation. And our closing presentation is It Runs in the Family, and it's an amazing family comedy about a dad and a kid on a road trip, and there's drag queens and performers, and it's hopefully leaves everyone in a good spot.
Con Rocío, su amiga. Rocío tiene una novia, Lara, que tiene una...
Always want to reach out to the young folks in our communities, and so we have lots of youth programming this year. In particular, folks might want to check out our Troublemakers 7.0 this year, which is the program where we bring young people and elders together to make films. It's bound to be a very good time and very wholesome.
Ob ich das so will. Zu einer Beziehung.
The reason why we keep our online programming is because a lot of folks outside Vancouver find it very helpful. It's one of those things where Vancouver's expensive to get to, and so providing the online content is not just a way for us to expand access to this content, but actually bring our communities together across BC in these smaller towns where they might not get access to something like the VQFF.
We're going to change this country for the thousands of us living with HIV out there. We're taking a stand.
For Outlook TV, this is Angus Pratt at the 35th Anniversary Vancouver Queer Film Festival.
We're going to have to take a little break now.
Sun's still out, I'm still squinting, it's all good.
My name is Melissa Wee. I'm the director of Eviction Conniption, and you're watching Outlook TV.
Welcome back. You're watching Outlook TV.
We've got a profile story on Erik Graff. Not only is he a multi-medalist at Gay Games, he's also the co-founder of Frontrunners.
Today, we have the pleasure of talking with Erik Graff, a longtime runner and participant in many Gay Games.
Oh, the first Gay Games was so fantastic for everybody because the only thing we could think about was how was this possible in 1982 to have something like the Gay Olympics? There were real serious competitors down there, really strong people, very motivated. So it became a lot more than just a party. Parties were secondary to everything else. It was fantastic. And I'll never forget the closing ceremonies. There were very few dry eyes. And I'll never forget an old man. He must have been born maybe around 1920, and he was in tears. And he said, never in my life did I think something like this. I will be witness to that. And of course, I have a t-shirt from the original first Gay Olympics that says Gay Olympic Games, which was outlawed by the International Olympic Association. They didn't want to have anything to do with that. And they tried to destroy the games by disallowing those t-shirts. And tens of thousands of dollars had been spent on making those t-shirts. And they had to all be thrown away. Or, very clever, they managed to mask the word Olympic. So it said Gay Games, and that's where Gay Games came from. After the games were over, what would be more obvious than starting a running club in Vancouver? And that's how the Vancouver Frontrunners came to be. And me and Darian Duplessis and Rick Woods, we were the three people that started up.
Can you tell us what gay games you have competed in?
The first one, 1982 in San Francisco. The second one, 1986 San Francisco. The third one right here in Vancouver, 1990. New York City, 1994. Amsterdam, 1998. Sydney, Australia, 2002. And then after that, there was a split in the organization. So I didn't do another one until my home city, Copenhagen, Denmark. That was the Out Games, not the Gay Olympics. The Out Games in 2009. And the last one I did was here in Vancouver in 2011. That was for North America only, not the international. You're concentrating on one thing only, and that is what you're doing, running. Forget about the rest of the world. And that's not always easy to do for something that's been done the first time. But I realized from the beginning, you forget about the rest of the world. You just focus on what you're doing, and that is running.
What words of encouragement would you give to individual runners thinking about going to Gay Games 11?
Go for it. Go for it. The point is not being a winner. The point is being participation and keeping your body in great shape. And although running does have disadvantages because it's hard on your knees and your ankles, but having said that, if you like running, go for it. Absolutely go for it.
From Vancouver, this is Gary Wolfeder for Outlook TV.
And now we're going to check in with Vancouver's David C. Jones.
He's throwing an eviction conniption. Maybe it's with all the high rents we have right now.
I am here at the Edge Performance Space to see a rehearsal of Eviction Conniption, a musical written and performed by David C. Jones, which will be part of Vancouver's Fringe Festival.
With a martini and a gun, he may see a lot of women.
Eviction Conniption is about a man named Joseph King who has to evict one of the people from the building that he's been assigned to take care of. He doesn't want to do that, but it turns out everyone in the building has a secret that might keep them all together.
We really want to distinguish the different characters from each other clearly so that people understand what's going on. David has given himself a huge challenge with this show. He's portraying 12 different characters. Bobby Beadle is a British pop star who had a career from 1983 to about mid-1983.
A pirate and a scam. Watch out in my wading pool, you're gonna get damned.
Completely overwhelmed by the amount of people who've supported me with this show and the composers and everything, but we also have a video multimedia aspect to it. Videos have been created through the entire thing by Zach Shore and assisted by Victor Valdez, and they look stunning. They're still working on them as we go.
Paul Grampus, he's quite a sensitive soul who had a lifelong dream that then didn't turn out so well.
Coming from under the sea. Coming from under.
biggest challenges, and one of the reasons why I'm so lucky to have Melissa as the director, is that I have to play all these characters, and sometimes in the play they have conversations with each other. As the play gets darker, because it does take a dark twist and get quite surreal, I sometimes am playing 3 people in a scene at the same time. One of the things that sort of inspired me to write this play is I, like a lot of people during the pandemic, started to get a lot of anxiety and depression about the state of the world and my place in the world. And after I got a diagnosis from a psychiatrist, finding out that I was schizotypal. So that led me on a path to creating a piece of art that captured that anxiety and that depression.
Hope for the audiences with this production is first and foremost that they're incredibly entertained. There is so much in this show that is fun, that is thought-provoking, and that's really different. And I think that we can definitely get some laughs and maybe even squeeze a few tears out of people. Anita Highball. In her mind, she belongs as the romantic love interest in a James Bond film, but really she's an alcoholic.
I am his Singapore sling, his gimlet is whiskey sour.
I always want audiences to have a good time. I want them to also find compassion, find understanding.
Eviction Conniption opens at the Vancouver Fringe Festival on Friday, September the 8th, and it runs until September the 16th. And I really hope that you come see it.
For Outlook TV, this is James Goodman in downtown Vancouver.
That is all the time we have for Outlook TV, but we'll be back before you know it.
And with a special message from the Guadalajara Gay Games, if you're interested in participating as an athlete or even just going, here's the URL right below us.
Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Rebecca Wyman.
And my name is T.
Stay proud, Canada.